In 15.6, we are going to be talking about discounts and markups. We know that a discount is a decrease in the original price of an item. So that's basically when you go somewhere and something is on sale. A markup is what stores do to make profit. So they increase what they pay the people that make their items by a lot so that they actually make a profit. We're going to use proportions to solve these problems. Let's start with how to find a discount or a sale price. There are two ways we can think about this. Let's say you're buying a pair of shorts for $35 and they are on sale for 25% off. So the discount is 25%. Okay, so one way we can think about this, we can just set up a proportion. We know that the percent off, we always have 100, the percent off is 25%. We know that the whole price that you're paying is $35. That's the whole price of the item. You are finding the part that is 25% off. So I take 100 times X, which is 100X, and 35 times 25. And for ease of time today, to make your videos go faster, I'm going to be doing the math. So that's 875. Divide by 100. I get X equals 875. Now what we need to remember in these problems, especially these discount and markup problems, is one step is never going to be enough. Because when you think about this, in this problem, I just found out what 25% of 35 was. That is the discount. It is not the new price. That's what 25% of 35 is. Now you have to do a second step where you actually have to find the sale price. And to do that, you take the $35 minus the 875. You would line up your decimals, remember. And you get 26.25. That is the item at 25% off. You found the part. That was 25%. And then you have to subtract it from the price. Now there's another way to do this. If you think about it, if you know that your discount is 25%, that means you are paying 75% of the item. So you could first subtract, say, well, 100% minus 25% is 75%. And say, okay, now I'm paying 75% of the item. So now what you're finding is 75 over 100 equals how much out of 35? 100 times X is 100X. 75 times 35 is 26.25. Divide by 100. Divide by 100. Move the decimal 2 spaces over. I get X equals $26.25. Oops, there's an extra decimal. $26.25. So you see, looking at that one, because you subtracted first, you're getting the answer right away. you have to think about what the percent is telling you. Is it telling you how much is off or how much of something you are paying? Now, you're not always going to be finding the sale price. Sometimes they give you the sale price and you have to find the percent off. They give you different things. So let's go through each type of problem so you know what you're looking for. Okay, let's say, for example, you are solving a problem and they want you to find the original price. So you're buying a pair of tennis shoes and they were 40% off. So tennis shoes. They're 40% off. So you got a 40% discount. And $33 was the sale price. You have to find out how much they originally costed. Okay? So we know that $33 is the sale price. So that would be the part. The question is 40 what goes in the percent, or do we need to do something else first? So when you're thinking about percents, they should always make sense. So if you have 40% off an item, does it give you the new price of the item, or does it give you how much you're taking off of the item? And in this case, we know that it's taking how much you're taking off of the item. So the first thing you need to do in these problems is you need to find the percent you paid. Well, that's just a subtraction problem. 100 minus 40 equals 60. I paid 60% of the shoes. So then when you write your proportion, you know that 60% should equal the $33. 60% of some number equals the $33. So 60 times x is 60x. 100 times 33 is 3,300. I have to divide by 60. And when I do that division, I get x equals 55. Remember, to help you out, you can cross one of those out and do 330 divided by 6. So I get x equals 55. So that means if I take 40% off of $55, the answer will be 33. You really have to think about part and whole when you're solving these problems, because it makes all the difference when you're plugging them into the proportion. So there's an example of finding the original price. Make sure you use these notes when you're doing your homework today. All right. Sometimes you have to find the percent of decrease. So let's say, for example, you are buying something and its original price is $82. And the sale price is $65.60. And you want to find out what percent of discount you got. So what percent off was this item? Okay, so there really are two ways to do this, just like in the other ones. We can start by just writing the proportion. If I do x over 100, because I'm trying to find the percent, equals 65.60, that's the part that I paid, over 82. This marker's killing me. Over 82. All right, so I take 82 times x. I get 82x. Equals 100 times 65.60, 2 spaces over, 6,560. I'm going to divide by 82. And I get x equals 80. Now I want you to think about this. Does it make sense that if you have $82 for an item and you paid $65.60, that they got 80% off? It doesn't make sense. What you just found is how much of 82 is $65.60. $65.60 is 80% of the item. You have to find what was taken off. So your second step has to be 100 minus 80 equals 20%. So your discount was 20%. You could have subtracted the numbers first to find out what the difference was in the price of the items and put that as the part, and then your answer would have turned out to be 20. So if you did 82 minus 65.60 and got how much was taken off the item and then solved the proportion, your answer would have turned out to be 20. So you can flip these two steps, just like in our very first example. Okay, so we have original price, we have discount percent, and we have sale price. We went through all three types of problems and how to solve them. So make sure you check these notes. The last thing we need to do is go over markups. Okay, so let's say, for example, an fish store is selling aquariums, and they have to buy the aquariums from somewhere or get them from somewhere to be able to sell them to customers. So they pay $75 for the aquarium to get it into their store. What they have to do is mark that aquarium up so they actually make a profit. So this one is paying $75. They mark it up 20%. They want to know what they were selling the item for. So let's take a look at this. So you know it's 20 over 100 because that's your percent that you're marking it up. The question is the 75 the part or the whole? And I think people like to think that it's the part because you know that the price is going to get bigger. But they are taking 20% of that price and marking it up. So that's the whole price that they paid for it. You're finding the 20% that they're going to raise the price by. So I take 100 times x, which is 100x, and 20 times 75, which is 1,500. If I divide by 100, 2 spaces over or cross both out, I get x equals 15. Now 15 is obviously not the price they're going to sell the item for. 15 is the price they're going to mark the item up. So as in all of these problems, there is a second step. You just have to remember that second step is either adding or subtracting, and just making sure that your answer makes sense. So if it starts at $75 and it's a markup, you're increasing it by $15. So 75 plus 15 is 90. So with a 20% markup, the store is going to sell the item for $90 and make a profit of $15 on each one that they sell. All right, so remember, all your answers in percents should make sense. So when you're done with a problem, read it again. Ask yourself, does this answer really go along with what it should be looking for? do the numbers make sense? And you'll probably be right on track. Okay, good luck.